Well, hi guys, I'm Pronobis, and today I'm going to be showing off Foundry's virtual tabletop and specifically focusing on the lighting. So here we're starting off with the character, and you can see that I have dim vision that lets me see out of solar distance. And up here we can also see this because there's some sort of light source we're approaching on. So I can tell that there's something up here, maybe a couple wells, statues, can't really tell yet, but I can see the basics of it. Now I'm just using the keys, so the arrow keys, and that allows me to move around. I can also drag to move, and I believe there's also, yes, here it is, a ruler. So if you want to measure how far you're going to various distances, really easy to do. And I'm sure we'll show off how to use the automated combat in the future. It's not as sophisticated or as advanced as Fantasy Grounds, but it's still kind of awesome and kind of cool. So at this point you can see that it does unveil, and there's all of this lava that's putting off light, which is why we can see from so far away. Let's take a quick look at the same map, but let's take a look from the Game Master's view real quick, so you can see some of why this isn't just dynamic in lighting, it's also dynamic in how we can position it and change it. So it allows multiple logins at the same time. It actually runs off of my computer just like with Fantasy Grounds, so I don't have to worry about servers going down, or if the company goes bankrupt, it's still my software, I still have it, so I can keep using it. So now I'm logging in as an assistant. You can have the Game Master, but you can also have assistants logged in at the same time, so you could possibly co-DM with someone. Let's go back over to that same map. And you're like, where did all of the walls go? I intentionally made the map so that there are no walls. All of the walls are right here in Foundry. And that means that if my players decide to look for a... Well, they're over in here. If they decide to look for a secret passage, I can just come over and give them a secret passage real quick. By... Now, if I did it like this, they'd see that I was doing it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I'm sure as I learn more and have multiple Game Masters, it'd be a lot more fluid to do. Okay, and then we just put in a secret door, which is what they would uncover. We can see there's another secret door here, so you'll be able to see the difference between them. And let's move this guy back in there. It just dropped him off outside of the room, and that lets you see this, which means I'm actually going to come in here and go... Oh, is it under lighting? Reset fog. Cool. And so now, when we switch back, one switch. It's with the escape button, change player. I'm going to go back in as a player now. And bear with me, I'm not the most efficient with the buttons. I've been using the software for less than a week. I actually had an unboxing of it live on Tuesday. So I am still very much a noob, but I'm already navigating it pretty well because it's relatively easy to pick up. And so here we can see that down here, we can't see through it because it's a hidden door. We can't even see that there is a door. But up here, it's as if there's nothing there anymore. We can even walk around. There, because I have it all hidden, we can see straight through it, but if I attempt to walk through it, it's going to tell me that I'm not allowed to go there because it still knows there's the wall. That is one of the downsides of using no walls at all, is there's nothing there. Hopefully we can add a feature, or they can add a feature at some point that'll make it so that the walls have a little bit of boldness and weight to them. Anyway, carrying on. These maps are designed to link together, and I can show you a master map here at the end. But as you adventure onwards, going from 3-4, and we're going down one chamber, that brings us into the 3-3. And here we see a door, which I stuck there just so if they looked in before, I could have had it locked, and they wouldn't be able to see in. So we're now into the next chamber, and you can see again, the lava's giving off light, so I could see a lot further where there's lava than otherwise. You can also see that the tips of these statues are giving off light. Now here, as a non-game master, if I try and drag myself through that door, It just tells me I cannot move through walls. I need to actually use doors. I can click that and open it myself, or I do need to line myself up with the doors. Otherwise, it's going to recognize that I'm trying to go through the walls. And they can come through here and open doors to their heart's content. We could have monsters pre-placed when they open the door. Oh no, there's someone actually in there! And you can have those types of moments, which I think are really cool. Someone in the community was talking about writing a mod or an extension that's going to make it so that the the doors are also based off of distance. I don't know if they've been working on that. I don't know what the time frame is, but we'll see. That's one of the cool things. It seems like Foundry is very open to community writing and community extensions. If you write something really cool, they've even worked some of those into the main part of the code. So a huge hallway, and at the end of the hallway, we come out into the next map. Now, one of the ideas I've had, and hopefully will get incorporated at some point, we can place tokens as scenes. I'm thinking it'd be really nice if there was a token on each of these little entryways that links to the other one. And I'm clicking this. If you listen closely, there's that sound that lock makes when you jiggle it and it's locked. And that means that I actually have that locked as a game master in case players try to go someplace they're not supposed to go. So let's go back to that assistant view. And the assistant has all of the rights of a game master, except they cannot delete your scenes or create the scenes. They're just moving around the NPCs, they can change the walls, other things like that. So now we are on 3-2. We can see that little locked symbol. So I can right click to unlock it and left click to open it for them. Let's speed this guy up a little. Let's jump him down into the treasure room, which I normally make them do a bunch of quests to get in there. And we can see that we see this door down here, but from the player view, there is no door there. So they might break into the treasure room and think that this is all that there is to it, when in reality, and there's nothing they can do to get over there. Which is most certainly intentional. So they pick up a couple suits of armor and a couple swords. That's good. But if they are actually engaging with everything, they're going to discover documents and other things that let them know that the best of the magic items are hidden away, and they'll find out instructions on how to open that door. And if they do that, then what I would do is, just like with a locked door, I just come down and open it for them. And this is the view that I'm going to be looking at most of the time anyway. If I ever want to see the walls, I can just click there and it shows me where all of the walls are. Most of the time I'm staying in this view. I can kind of imagine roughly where they are. And again, I'm hoping that they will add in just very faint lines like this type of look for the game masters to see, and maybe something that looks a little bit nicer for the players to see. It'd be a nice option, especially if we go to wall-less dungeons, which I really like because it gives us a lot of flexibility to adapt to players looking for secret doors. I've had so many rogues look for secret doors where we didn't expect them to, we didn't write anything in, and then I'm scrambling to come up with something for them. So let's go back to the player view. And when we take a look, we can now see that it's as if there is no door there. You can just walk straight through it. And you find a bunch of treasure chests and a glowing sword. That's the very basics of what this can do. And that's really all that I had on the plate to show you guys for tonight. I guess I should probably show you the entirety of what the dungeon is. So this, when it's done loading, is the entirety of the dungeon. And this is very low quality because this is just the zoomed out map. And this is split into a 5x5 grid, each of which... doesn't have a gallery. Oh, yes it does. There you go. Each of which has its own map. It's like we have this giant fountain. I haven't decided what that's going to be yet, but I made these maps with no walls today in about 3 hours for all of this. And there's a bunch of treasure piles in places. So each of these squares is train 5 pixels. So this is a better quality once it finishes loading. So I can count it, and that is not 25 pixels. What am I... Photos by Windows. Of course it's not displaying properly. Right now it's displaying about 10 pixels across, and it's downstepping it to get there. These are actually 25 pixels per square, and I could have exported it bigger, but I like fast load times. So that's the basics of this, and as you can see, these two look a lot better than what that other view was doing, because this is actually how it's supposed to look. Any questions before I leave?